This is our website development cohort. It's the second cohort out of 5 that we are teaching. We just got done with the AI digital marketing. So for the fall and winter session, we are teaching intro to website development. First off, we will quickly introduce ourselves. I think we have enough time to quickly just, if you guys want, just quickly introduce yourself, your business, your name, just so that we can kind of network and also provide other opportunities for us to get to know each other better. So for myself, I'm John B. Yang. I'm the founder and CEO of Digital Synergy, partnered with Asian Media Access, and also Elevate Hennepin. And Steve, I'll let you start off introducing yourself.
Yeah. And yep, I'm Steve Liu, and I am the Director of Media Technology at Asian Media Access. We're in North Minneapolis. And I'm not a dedicated IT person, but more of an accidental techie. But I also help out with a lot of production of our media, videos and graphics design, and then teaching young people and so forth.
Thanks, Steve. Just quickly, just to want to let you all know that this session is being recorded and we will post it online. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. If not, just let us know. I know Tan just messaged that he doesn't have a microphone, but he owns a Dina Creamery. And I'll just kind of go through the list here that I have. I'll start with Jang. Jang is our moderator, but he also does a lot on the back end for us.
Yeah.
Okay, Jang's not on, but that's fine. Jang does a lot. He's one of our IT and web developer.
Sorry, I didn't catch that, but yeah, I'm the web developer for Asian Media Access, and I'll be one of the speaker in the upcoming cohort. So I'll be teaching the HTML, CSS, and WordPress part 1. So looking forward to those and enjoy this cohort.
Thanks, Jang. We got Yolanda. Yolanda.
Hi, I'm Yolanda Pearson, and I'm the co-owner of Pearson & Sons Trucking.
Awesome, thank you. Mitchell.
Hello all, Mitchell Davis. I'm the president of M. Davis Consulting. We do professional services for nonprofits, government, and also for-profit companies, and strategy development, and also community engagement and action planning.
Thanks, Mitchell. Erica.
Hello, everyone. I'm Erica. I'm the owner and CEO of Lotus Life and Wellness. We provide coaching, mental health, and many other wellness modalities. Great to be here.
Thanks, Erica. Shelly.
Sheila. Hi, guys. I'm Sheila. I'm co-founder of Mazza. It's a local sauces and soon-to-be dip company based in Minnesota.
Awesome. Thanks. Karina. I think she has herself on mute, but that's fine. Next is Talaya. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your names right.
Yes, that's right. It's Tondalea, but I go by Talaya. And I am founder and CEO of Latest Touch Empire e-commerce business.
Awesome. What do you sell?
T-shirts right now, but I'm looking to expand that. That's why it's going to be an empire, because it's going to be more than just shirts.
Okay, cool. We have Delphine. Delphine.
Yes, my name is Delphine. I'm the founder of the Delphi Group LLC. It is a pre-venture short-term rental company.
Okay, cool. Shannon.
Hi, my company name is called Wellnique, and I'm a functional medicine health coach, and my target market is working with women in their 40s and beyond.
Okay, thanks. And Kayla.
Hi everyone, I'm Kayla. I run a small business side gig called The Bland Bakery. I make polymer clay miniatures, like jewelry and trinkets and magnets and things like that.
Cool, thanks. And looks like Daniel just joined us. If you could quickly just introduce yourself. Okay, that's fine. I don't think his mic is working, but yeah, let's get started. So, welcome to Intro to Website Development.
I'm sorry, I just find out the unmute button.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Hi,
ahead, Dan.
I'm Daniel. I'm a design engineer. I have graphic photography, commercial photography background. So wanted to come here to pick up a little more skill from you guys.
Okay. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thanks, Daniel.
Mhm.
And I think Stephen.
Hey, Steven here. I head the community outreach for the Chinese community centers. John, nice seeing you again here.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank
joining, Steve. All right, just quickly, a little housekeeping. At any point, if you have any questions, feel free to text in a box. We will answer right away if you don't understand anything. Once we get to 7 o'clock, if you guys want to take a 5-minute break, let us know. We can take a 5-minute break. Again, this session will be recorded. We will post the recordings online on our YouTube channel. So if anyone misses any of these sessions going forward, you're more than welcome to watch it online on your own free time. And that will still qualify you for some of the incentives that we have here. And we'll touch quickly on the incentives here since we have this page open. So if you attend 8 out of 10 workshops here or watch 8 out of 10 workshops, you can get a free website. We will take care of the domain name for 1 year and also give you a 1-year hosting free of charge. We will help build a website for you to fit your business needs. That's the first incentive. The second incentive is this is a little bit more restriction here. You have to be a Hennepin County business owner. There's a reimbursement program that can reimburse you up to 75% and up to $1,500 on any business technology related purchase. So it's a one-time use. I know we had this in the other cohort too. So you can use it if you attend the classes here, you can use it for this cohort. I think we will allow this to go through for the rest of the 5 cohorts. So our cohorts will go right into 2024, summer of 2024. So if you complete the class and you want to do this purchase maybe like a month later, that should be fine with us as well. Sheila mentioned there's a question here. Is there a website or contact I can reach to help claim technology reimbursement? Yes. So once you have this done, so our moderator is checking everyone's name and we will send the list to our staff. Our staff will reach out to you with an application for the reimbursement. And then if you don't hear anything back, like I said, feel free to reach out to me, any one of us, and we can help you. So if you have a business address in Hennepin County, that would be considered a business owner in Hennepin County. Or if you plan to have one that's coming up or ready to sign up, we can kind of work with you on that too to see if you can get a business address or get a business established in Hennepin County and to help you qualify for that. Any other questions? And
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, Dan.
Can I start with like online design, product design, a business? Is that considered a business?
Yeah, so like a business would be like a registered entity, right? Like an LLC or corporation that's actually registered in Hennepin County. So you would need like a legit legal entity registered in Hennepin County.
Oh, you have to be LLC. Can I like register as a proprietor?
Oh yeah, sole proprietor. Yeah, that's fine too. So I would just kind of give an example as far as long as you register with the county as a business owner, then that will qualify you for the reimbursement program.
But I live in Ramsey County. Can I set up a business in Hennepin County?
Yeah. So if you live outside of Hennepin County, but your business is in Hennepin County, then yes, that will qualify you. I know some people they have a business address in Hennepin County, but they work at home. So that will also be good as well. So as long as you're registered in Hennepin County as a business owner, then that should qualify you for the reimbursement program.
The business address is it have to be like physical business address?
It doesn't have to be, it just has to be a legit business address because I know some people use virtual business address. Some people don't have storefront. So as long as you have a business address register under the Hennepin County, when you fill out your entity, it's going to ask you for a business address. And as long as that business address is registered in Hennepin County, then you should be good. And like I said, any other question will be more than happy to help you as well.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, no problem. Does Squarespace work for incentive? So we did talk about yeah, so any type of website, if depending on how you want to set it up, we can help set that up for you. Primarily we're focused on the WordPress hosting because Squarespace, they have their own hosting. We have our own hosting too. So we would need to host the website on a hosting to give you the free 1-year hosting. I know Squarespace, they have their own hosting where you're paying monthly, but we can help you if you needed to make changes, updates. We can help you with Squarespace, but with that, we just wouldn't be able to do the 1-year hosting since we have our own hosting here. Okay. Yep. And like I said, any other question, we will answer that offline as well. Again, so this page is a little bit of information about Hennepin County. Hennepin County is the largest county in Minnesota. If you guys have any questions, more information on the Elevate Hennepin Tech Essential Program, we do have links here. We will share the presentation too. You can access these links here to get more information, communication toolkits. And if you have questions with one of the program facilitators, Zach, you can reach out to him as well. This is our 10 online hybrid workshops. So we do have a couple workshops that will be hands-on, where you can come into the classroom. We can help you in person and also do like a hybrid session for that too. So that's optional. And the workshops are set for every week on Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And this is the table of contents. Basically, we will follow this schedule here. Purpose of a website, what's the benefits of a website, how does a website work, what's open source, closed source, website security, website speed, internet work, IP, domain name, web hosting. We'll do some Q&A and live demo if we have time at the end, but for sure, we'll open up for more Q&A at the end. And you don't have to have any programming background to learn how to build a website. So this program here is made so that we can teach any entrepreneur, business owner how to manage a website, how to set up a website, and you don't have to have any type of prior coding background to learn how to build a website. So yeah, let's get started. So what's the purpose of having a website, right? So first, before you have a website, you got to have goals and objectives. Some of the goals and objectives can be, are you using website for educational purposes or information purposes, like a news blog site? Are you selling products online? You may need e-commerce, online sales. Are you building your brand? Are you building your reputation online? You may need reviews and testimonials for that. And the last one is lead generation. If you provide some type of professional service, then you may need a website that can generate leads, like form submission, stuff like that. So before you even start a website, you need to have your goals, your objectives. What is it that your business needs are? What are you doing in your business? So everyone here has their own unique goals and objectives. and that will help you build your website in terms of like structure, information, layout, look and feel, and everything like that. What are the benefits of having a website? It allows 24/7 online presence, information exchange. It builds credibility. So when someone, I'm pretty sure if you own a business and someone's trying to buy something from you, they're probably going to do a background check and Google you to see if you're legit. Website is low cost. So a lot of people who don't sell on storefront, they just sell e-commerce. That's a low cost investment. Market expansion, it helps you expand to a broader market. If you're just a local store in Minnesota, maybe your market expansion can go throughout the US. It gives you traffic insight. People who come to your website, you can really monitor their behavior, where they're going, and give you insight in terms of what you need to improve on. Allow you to look at, we talked about bounce rate in the last class, digital marketing, why people are leaving so fast, why people are where they're going and navigating through your website. So it allows you to look at all that traffic insight. Website allows you to market and advertise as well. So it's for you to advertise on Google ads or any other type of ad like social media marketing. You'll need some type of landing page, website, so you can advertise to generate leads or sales. It helps you stay competitive. Your competitors are probably doing the same thing too, but if you have a good website, it helps you stay on top of the game. Customer service, it's also another portal to provide customer service. Some people then use chat bots now for customer service, or messengers, contact forms. And the 10th is growth opportunity. It allows you to really expand and grow your business through your website. So with that being said, we spoke a little bit about your goals and objectives. And Steve, did you want to talk a little bit about the website structure and why it's important? So having a website structure is important because it helps you organize your website. Having a good structure and usability and user experience is important, right? When the user lands on your website, you don't want them to be confused of where to go, where to find information. You want to make it easy, clean, and simple for them to navigate your website. So here is just like example of the website structure. Your main page will be your home page. Then you have your main category pages, and then your subcategories, and vice versa. You definitely don't want to go too deep into like more than subcategories and subcategories, because then it can get a little confusing. But if you look at the right side of the image, you have your home page, and then the normal pages that people normally have will be like your about us, your contact us, your services, your products. Those will be your main category. And then from there, you can set your subcategories. For example, products, you can have desktop, laptops. Under services, you can have different types of services. So you want to think about your website structure when it comes to your website as well. So this will be kind of like thought out. It's kind of like writing a business plan, right? When you're writing a business plan, you want to kind of write things down first on how you want to build your website. Same thing with this.
Yeah, and your business has a mission, right? And then so you're trying to achieve your mission, and these are website being one of the tools and strategy to achieve your mission. And so with your business, you definitely want to have a very clear picture of what you're trying to achieve. And then there are websites that you go in and just kind of messy, and that's maybe one of the reason is that the owner doesn't really have a good clear vision of what he or she is trying to achieve. So
right. And just to answer, there's a question here. I think Delphine mentioned, should she subscribe to WordPress before starting this course? No, you don't need to subscribe to WordPress. We can assign everyone an account once we figure out who will be on. I think this will be on once we get to the hands-on session. That's when we will create an account for you all. But if you want to, if you already have a website and you want to play around with it, you can. But our hands-on to build a website probably will not be onto the. Let me just go back to the course. So hands-on would be, looks like it won't start until December is when we actually do hands-on. I know the third one will start with the hands-on hybrid workshop to build your own. So actually, I'm sorry. Number 3 is when we can assign your website, and as we go through, we'll work with you each week. And we'll in December we have 2 hybrid workshop where you can come in person, and we can help you with that too. So yes, actually by the 3rd week, we should be able to assign each and every one of you like a separate website to start working. So we'll work with you on that as well in terms of what type of domain name you plan to get, and we'll set you up with a website and the different templates. So for us to help you, we can either, there's a couple of ways, and we'll talk more about this when we come back to the website, I think towards the Q&A, and we'll work with you in terms of if you want to build it from scratch, or if you want to use a template, all that options that you can choose as well.
Yeah, it's also there's WordPress.com, and so that's not actually what we're using. WordPress.com looks and feels very different from what we are introducing you to, and that is to install your own WordPress platform or installation, and it's a lot more flexible that way, and it's free, whereas on WordPress.com there's it looks very different from what we want to introduce you to, and I don't think it's for ourselves, we haven't really liked WordPress.com because it feels much more limited, and then you have to pay money to add on extra features and stuff like that. So yep, so hold off on that.
Yeah, and like we have like enterprise access to hundreds of templates. So for example, if you're a law firm or you're a business consultant, there's templates that's already done. You just have to choose which one you like. We can help you customize that. It's probably the best way to go, and the easiest way to go. And also there's templates that you can install that WordPress itself has as well. So how does a website work? When you think of a website, basically there's going to be website files, looking at the image here, and there's a web host server. The server is where it hosts the files, and the files will talk to the internet and display to your computer, your devices. So the web browser, think of it as your client, right? Where and then your website host, think of it as your host. So it's like a computer, right? The computer will display information on the screen, where the host will display information on your web browser and into your different devices. So that's how it works. So you need all these components for a website to work. The website consists of web pages, files of codes, images, videos. These can be in different types of format, coding, different type of coding languages. Like I said, we don't have to get into that because a lot of the automation tools that we use, you don't need to have any coding background. The web server is an internet connected computer that receives requests from the web page and is sent to your browser. So that's commonly known as a host. I put down Apache, Tomcat, NG, INX. These are all different server names, that's all. But the most common ones are like Apache, Tomcat. Web browsers connects your computer to the server through your IP address. The IP address is obtained, translated to your domain name, and Steve will talk more about that later. So IP address are numbers that talk to the computer, and is translated back to your domain name. So your web browser is commonly known as your client. So you've heard of Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Apple Safari. Those are considered your web browser, and they talk to your web server to display information back and forth through the internet. So in other words, in order to display your website on the internet, you'll need, again, a website, which can be WordPress, Shopify, HTML files, and then a domain name, which is you can buy from GoDaddy, Namecheap. Domain name would be like a .com, right? That's a domain name. Website would be like a like WordPress files, and then your server, you need your host server in order to get the website to work. So just a quick high-level understanding of how a website works. You need these three major components here. Security, when you type in security, there's different protocols, HTTP, HTTPS. Any type of website now, I think Google, a lot of search engines, they require you to have a secure HTTPS, just so that, if you're transmitting any type of information, it's encrypted. Especially if you sell online, you want to make sure you have HTTPS. That's obtained through what they call SSL certificate. So it's a security certificate that will help encrypt your protocol. And you just have to know the basic stuff. A lot of server hosting, they do automatically give you HTTPS now. But if you guys already have websites here, just make sure that it does have HTTPS, so that your information is secure when you transfer over the internet, so that it won't be hacked by anyone else out there. Some security measures, you want to make sure your password is secure and updated regularly. Don't make it too common. I know a lot of people, they want to make it common, have their name, birthday, stuff like that, but just be careful with that, because once someone hacks into your password, then they can get access to your other accounts too. So make sure that you have a secure password. Make sure that your website has SSL certificate, which will give you the HTTPS protocol, so that your transmission of information is secured. Choose the right content management system or the right platform. If you choose a platform that's out of date, there could be security risk with it. I know, for example, like Magento stopped doing updates for their platform, so there could be security risk for that. Magento is an e-commerce platform, so now I just kind of recommend Shopify, which is hosted by Shopify itself. It's they have a good system there where it's always updated. So when I say make sure you choose the right platform, meaning that make sure that it's up to date, and again, updating your platform. A lot of times you will have to update your add-ons, your plugins, your code version. Make sure those are all up to date for security measures. Limit user permission. So if you give someone permission, make sure that you don't give them admin unless you know for sure that they are admin for your website. Because if someone has admin rights, they can change a lot of things. They can kick you out from your own admin rights as well. So make sure that whoever has admin rights, full admin rights, that they are someone that you know. Using anti-malware software. So to the right here, I have a screenshot of kind of like just different companies that provide malware software, where these are additional services, third-party services, where you may have to pay for it, and they just kind of monitor your website, make sure that no one's trying to hack into your website, make sure that everything's functioning, make sure there's no malware on your website, and make sure that there's no one trying to hack into your website. Else they will, these software will help monitor that, and it will flag when someone's trying to hack into your website. So these are not part of the WordPress, but WordPress does have anti-malware plugins that you can install that will help prevent that as well. So it's good to have additional security measure software to help track your website. So if you have a website that has a lot of information, personal information of people, especially if you are capturing credit card information, stuff like that, you want to make sure that you have security software installed and your website is secured. Back up your website regularly. Anytime you make major updates, make sure it's backed up on your server, because you never know when your website will be hacked or when it will go down. You may need to restore it. So make sure that you do regularly backup schedules and stuff like that. A lot of the hosting does provide schedule backup for your website. If not, you can back it up yourself. So again, I recommend at least bi-weekly or monthly backup or any type of major changes. Make sure you back up your website and continue to test your website. Sometimes you don't look at your website and then you finally look at it and it's down, so make sure that you check your website regularly to make sure everything's working properly.
If there's a question from Shannon about if there's a recommendation for particular malware software.
Yeah, I think that's based on your budget. So any of the software on the right side here, these are all well-known software. You can Google, top malware software for your website, and there's going to be good information on that. The Google results are really good now, so they usually provide like really good, accurate, credible companies now. So I'd say any of the website from the right side here, or you can Google, sometime maybe even do like what's the most affordable malware software for my website, and you'll get results and kind of just go through. I'd say look at the reviews and go through there to choose which one's best for you.
Mitchell asks, he uses ESET security. Will it work for website protection? So I'm guessing you're using ESET for your personal computer?
Yes, Stephen, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, it's so there's a server side and a client side. And so what you're using is the client side. Your computer is the client. And so the server side, I think a lot of web hosts also offer their own. And the part of adding your own, I'm not sure, but you want the software to monitor your server side content to make sure that there aren't people that has hacked in and then hosting something malicious on your site. So I think,
yeah, it looks like ESET has an internet security version as well, to where it can monitor your website.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're up to internet IP addresses, and Steve, I'll let you take over.
Yeah. So this first session, we want to do this part of it, which is, sometimes gets very technical and maybe kind of dry. But I think it's kind of like, know a little bit about, some of you may know how it works and some of you don't, and we just want to get everybody on to same speed about, how internet works and how the traffic flows and stuff like that. So you don't, there's less chance of you getting scammed, hopefully. Once in a while I still get email of a company want to help me to register for a domain name, and they're asking for over $300. And it's something that's very easily done that you can do yourself. And you're just paying for the annual price of $15, $20. So and just to somebody's asking you to go buy some blinker fluid for your car type of thing. Yeah, it doesn't exist, right? With IP address, each computer is assigned a unique IP address, and you may have seen those numbers, something like 074.128.033.237. And so that's a IP address, and each computer's IP address is unique. And so one computer will know where the other computer is. So your your computer is talking to a web server of a particular website, and these two computers each have a unique IP address. So that's how they know who they're talking to. It's a little more involved, but for the most part, this is how it works. And most of us are still using IPv4, so version 4. IPv6 has a lot more security as well. And then, but it's also more complicated to administer and to keep up. And so with a lot of technology these days, okay, so the V6 came in originally because people were using pretty much V4, and they realized, oh my gosh, we're going to run out of IP addresses to assign to each computer. And so they came up with a V6. But in that time, people having to come up with different ways of still making V4 work. And so a lot of new technologies have been introduced, and ways of dividing and let let V4 still work. At that time, a lot of us are still staying with V4. So so at this time, don't worry about V6 yet. And if you're not in networking anyway, you probably won't be running into these things. So, okay, that's, and then, so how do we get from an IP address to a domain name? So a domain name, Disney.com, IRS.gov, for us, Asian Media Access, amamedia.org, and so forth. So IP address is like, I would say it's more like a very, very technical, for your house. An IP address is more like your plot number, your ID number for this plot, or however they divide up properties in a county. A domain name is more like what we're used to, our Asian Media Access is at 2418 Plymouth Avenue North, right? And so that's much easier to remember. And Disney.com is much easier to remember than the IP address of, 6.138.280.12 or something like that, right? So there's a domain name that's attached to a IP address. And this goes into what's called domain name service. It translates your domain name to an IP address. And so when you type in that domain name, the domain name system knows where to find that machine. And on the bottom right-hand corner there, a little bit more about top-level domain. And so that's, .gov is something that we see here in the US. And if it's a different country, it also adds a country 2 letter code at the end. TW is Taiwan. And then you have your domain MOE, which is Ministry of Education of Taiwan. And then you have your subdomain. And so you can keep adding, you just need to register for the domain name. So like moe.gov or disney.com, and then you can add on your subdomains, maybe TV channel. I don't know what Disney have, TVs or I don't know, something in front of disney.com. And so that can become another website, or and so you can actually create a lot of different websites if you just have subdomain names in front of a domain name. You can also have subdomain names, right? And you can keep adding on that, and you don't want to go crazy with it because then it becomes really confusing. But you could have a lot more control and a lot more options of adding on different parts of the company that you want to promote. And one could be, if you have a retail section, you have a service section of your business and so forth. You can put that under different subdomain names. And so you can register a domain name by yourself. For us, we have been using dreamhost.com, and another popular one is godaddy.com, and then there are a few more. I think there's a Blue Line or something like that. I don't quite remember. But there are a lot of options, and so and they may differ in prices for domain names a little bit. And so if you're looking for, the absolute cheapest, you can search around a little bit, but they're not going to differ too much. Again, 1 year for us at .org, it's $20 a year, but .com might be $14, $15 or so. Let's see, and then and then we talked about the subdomain and stuff. And one question that someone had earlier is that, can you change the domain name once you register? Answer is no, you have to register a new one. So
yeah, and I can add a little bit on, this is more like SEO related to domain name. So when you have to be strategic when you think of your domain name, make it easy for someone to remember, but at the same time, domain name doesn't have a direct ranking factor on Google search engines anymore, but the keyword that it contains does impact. So for example, I was going to say like bank, right? If I type in the word bank here, the first ones that are going to show up on the search results are going to be not considering the advertisement here, but Bank of America, because their name and their links and all the content that they post have the word Bank of America, right? It has that word bank. The next one we see on organic searches, US Bank, Fifth Third Bank. So all these, they're ranking on top also because they have the word bank in their name, right? When I search on bank. So when you do, for example, a law firm, you might want to have the word law firm or lawyer within your domain name, because that helps. Because having the more keyword and anchor text links that are coming back to your website that contains these keywords, they do have an impact when it comes to ranking on the search engines too. So so you might want to be strategic when it comes to ranking for your particular service or product that you're selling. So that may be something where you may want to consider as well, is in terms of search engine optimization view, that can help.
Yeah, the search engine is another animal that you need to try to conquer. And Google keeps changing the way that they rank them as well, just because people trying to play with the ranking system that Google has, and so Google will have them to change something else so that it's not just people playing different tricks with a search engine.
Yeah, and one other thing, I know I'm back to the question where someone said, can they change their domain name? If you were to change your domain name, make sure you do what they call is a 301 redirect, so that anyone who goes to the old domain name will be redirected to a new domain name. That way you can still hold that SEO value, and the traffic will still be going to the proper website versus someone going to your old domain name and they just see like an error page does not exist. So make sure that if you do change domain name, You do like a 301 redirect where it will redirect anyone going to that old domain name to your new one. Okay.
Okay. And so the domain name system, and then you have a domain name server. And so hope that picture is you can kind of see it. And so step one on the top left-hand corner, the query, that's from your computer, right? And it goes to your goes to a DNS server going down to step two. And so DNS, the domain name actually uses a lot of caching servers. And so your own router will have cached some of these domain. Well, even going back further, your own computer will cache some of these more, it will try to figure out like, oh, you've been going to these sites a lot more often, so I'm going to keep this IP address here for you. And if after a while, usually about 24 hours, those gets erased, and then it will go to your router, and then your router will say, okay, here's the IP address of that domain name you're searching for, and here it is. And if your router doesn't have it, it keeps going up to your internet service provider, Comcast or so forth. And then so it keeps going up and up until they find a computer that has the information that's needed. And then it relays back to all the way to your computer and say, here's the IP address that you're looking for. And I will take you over to there. And so so all of these happen in the background, is fairly automatic. You don't really see it. But sometimes it might take a little bit of time. If there's a little bit of delay, maybe that's what it's doing. And the IP addresses in a lot of different servers and systems, they do cache them, but then they expire 24 hours or however that particular domain name server is configured for, because people change their domain name, and so it needs to be refreshed quite often, and trying to renew, right, to different IP addresses if there's any changes. And that's where the hackers sometimes come in, is that they can time it so that in that refreshing, period, that few milliseconds, it will try to inject a false IP address into the server response. And so it will inject a false IP address into that domain name. And so you get the wrong IP address, directs you to the hacker's website. So that is something that is a concern, and something that they're trying to always keep on top of as part of a security measure. But that's how the domain name gets translated to an IP address. Okay. So it may seem like we're jumping around a little bit. We're talking about IP address and main domain name, and then we're talking about now web hosting options. But just trying to give you an overall, give you some new vocabularies. And so these are some of the things that you may hear a little more often. And so you kind of want to understand a little bit what all these mean. Okay. So with web hosting, and I'm kind of using our own service provider, which is DreamHost. And so this is what they offer. One is shared hosting, and it's the least expensive. And for nonprofit, they're actually giving it for free. But it is quite slow, and then it's not the most powerful computer that they use, and slower response time, and then probably slower speed as well, and it's not as robust. And we have been using that in the beginning, and then as we grow, we start to notice, or the computer start notifying us that your website has crashed. Your website has crashed, every so often, and that's because they're, it's just the CPU, the processor of that specific computer has cannot handle so much traffic anymore. And so we upgraded to the virtual private server, VPS. So you're still sharing the computer with other websites on there, and it's still fairly affordable. But it does respond a lot faster, and also technical support they provide is better. And we usually, if our website for some reason is down, we just log into DreamHost, our account, and then there's a button on the bottom, and then you just click on it and you can chat. Well, these days they kind of ask you to, check for this Q&A type of section first, but you can still get to a person pretty quickly. And they've been really good for all of our issues that we have experienced. And then top tier is the dedicated server. So you get your own computer, and it's the most expensive. But if you're running a large enterprise, this is what you want to go with. And then your connecting and response time is also a lot faster. And you want to base this on, kind of like what we noticed before was that, our site is crashing a lot of times. And these are not long crashes. The crashes is, and then the server will start it right back up. And so it's a short period of delay and downtime for our website. But when that start to happen a lot more often, then it's probably time to upgrade. And number of visitors, you can get that. You want to, you can probably get a feel for it as well anyway. But if people are complaining your site is not responding, and that gets too often, then you want to think about going up to the next level. And then we talked a little bit about server side and client side, right? And so a lot of things these days happen on the server side with what we're going to be talking about with WordPress. There's a lot of programs and communications between database and the WordPress and all of that going on the server side. On the client side, then it's pretty much you're receiving the HTML information from the server, and then your computer's responsibility is to render that HTML out for you to see, right? And so hopefully your web browser is there's a standard for web browser need to do this and this and this, and then yeah, hopefully that's displaying your site correctly. Some of the JavaScript type of things also happen on client side. And those are more interactive type of things between you and your computer. So, and we want to talk about this and a little bit because, you know, you want to kind of know, okay, my computer isn't quite working. What's wrong? Is it on my side or is it on the server side, right? And if you go to your website and then gives you an error page of your site is not working, then that's probably on the server side. If it's on your side of the computer, it would just maybe look weird. Your website will still respond, but what you're receiving and what is displayed for you doesn't look right, or you know, then it might be something on your computer side. Maybe, you know, that sometimes it's just restarting the computer, right? Or quitting your browser, and then, or maybe your browser needs to be updated, something like that.
And then Steve, I just want to add, like, I guess I have the web page here, DreamHost here, just to piggyback off what you talked about hosting. You know, if you guys as website, if you're wondering what type of hosting should I get, so kind of my recommendation is if you're getting less than a couple thousand visits per day, you don't need any major hosting like dedicated server, stuff like that, because these are more to host like high-end stuff where they're getting thousands per day and you know 10-20,000 visits per month. You know, these are more to handle high traffic and if you have a big website. But if you're just running WordPress, you know, something like managed WordPress is good. Shared hosting would be sufficient too. And these hosting matters because a lot of times speed matters too in terms of how Google will rank your website. So if you have a low website, a slow website, there's few things that can have an impact. Like the user experience will be bad, right? If the user goes on your website and it takes super long for your images to load, they may not even want to hang around long enough because it takes too long. If your website is too slow, Google will penalize you and you won't rank as high too. So we talked about this with the AI digital marketing. I'm just going to kind of share my screen here. So Google Page Insight Speed, if you're wondering how fast your website is, you can run it through Google Page Insight. I'm just using my website here. It's giving me grades of 74 to 186. So you want to stay above 70 is what I'm trying to say. As long as it's not red, and you want to stay 70 plus, so that means that your website is running good for performance and there's no issues. And this will give you a little bit more detail in terms of why is it slow? Is it the image loading too slow? Is it your coding? So that's why, for developers, you have to know how to write efficient code, because if you don't, then your website, that can slow your website down. So all these you don't need to learn, but you just need to learn the score here. If you need someone to take care of this, I'd say look to hire like a developer who knows how to fix your website, make it faster. Again, like Steve mentioned, if you're using shared hosting and you're getting messages that you're running out of bandwidth or your storage space is reaching its limit, then that means that there's too much traffic. Bandwidth meaning the bandwidth allows you to host how many traffic can go on your website. And even though some hosting says unlimited, it's not unlimited. You can reach a limit for that too. But just to kind of go through what Steve mentioned and DreamHost, these are different options that you get. But for what we're talking now, for a small business who are not getting, if you're getting less than 1,000 visits per month, shared hosting is fine. Or if you want to do like managed WordPress hosting, that's fine too, but it's a little bit more expensive. But if we were to host your website, we would be doing it on the kind of like a shared hosting version. Again, it should handle a couple thousand, 2,000 to 3,000 visits per day, fine. If you're not getting as much, then you wouldn't need to worry about that yet. Anything else you want to add, Steve, on hosting?
No, I don't think so. And yeah, and sometimes yeah, I know these things. If you don't, it's not something that you deal on a daily basis. Yeah, you don't know, and you don't know what to ask, right? But yeah, as you start further into the course, yeah, any question, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, and when you call the hosting company, they can give you insight too. You can just tell them that what your needs are, and there should be consultant support, customer service to help you with that too. Looks like we have a question here regarding speed response. Does it matter server location, domestic, overseas? I recommend keeping it domestic. I know you can do overseas, but Google does take that into account too. If you're overseas, you won't rank as high as someone who's domestic. But there are fast service overseas as well. So, but if you're in the US and you do business in the US, I would recommend keeping it domestic. We're at past 7. Do you guys want to take a 5-minute break, or do you want to just continue?
Yeah, I'd like a 5-minute.
Okay. So let's take a 5-minute break. Let's come back at maybe 11 past, and we will continue again.
Okay.
All right. Hey, welcome back to the second half of our web development cohort. So here we're going to pick off on domain names. So selecting the right domain name is important for your business too. Something that is easy to remember, that's not too long. You want to make sure that your users can remember your domain name. So a lot of times you want to make sure that also choosing the right domain name matters for SEO as well. For example, having the right keyword in the domain name does not have SEO factor, but when you have a domain name that contains a keyword, and then you're building links and content that has a repeat of those keywords everywhere that you post, that can have an impact on your ranking. So for example, if I type in bank, right, to search engines, the first thing that comes to on the search result is Bank of America. Why? Because the name of the Bank of America has a keyword bank. So anywhere where they put Bank of America, they probably have a link somewhere or another all over the internet that has the keyword bank. So that's why Bank of America is rated number 1. Number 2, number 3, 5th, 3rd bank, US Bank. They all contain bank keywords, so they are always ranking higher versus like something like Wells Fargo, right? But it's a lot more details in that. It has to do with link authority, domain authority. That's part of the SEO piece, but just having a keyword in your domain name will make more sense as a small business. For example, like if you're a law firm, having the keyword lawyer, law firm, that helps you rank better. I mean, I know when you're building brand, a lot of these big companies, they don't use any keywords, which is fine because they already built their brand. But as a small business entrepreneur who's starting out and you want to have the best chance to rank on the search engines, having a keyword that's related to what you're doing, what type of service you're doing, will be important too. And domain names, basically domain names are just names that are connected to an IP address. So the IP address is linked to your domain name. That's how the server talks back and forth. So from our physical visual view of the domain name, it's like a name, but to the backend server, when it talks to the server, it's actually connected to a IP address. The IP address of your website is linked to the browser where people visit. Domain name system, how to communicate with your domain name server. Basically, the way it works, if you look at the chart graphic to the right side here, it sends a query, and then to the DNS server, and then the DNS server talks to the IP resolution. It sends it back to DNS server. So it talks back and forth with the IP address that's linked to your domain name, and it establishes the connection to the website host server. So basically, we think about it, the domain name is an IP address that talks to the DNS server, and then it communicates back to the website host, which is linked to your domain name. Web hosting options. So there's so many different options. Basically, if your website is not getting over a couple thousand visits per day, then you don't need a high-end hosting plan. A shared hosting plan should be enough for that. So for many of us here, if you're just looking at maybe even a couple hundred visits per day, shared hosting is perfectly fine for what your needs are. I know Steve mentioned based on a website hosting plan, this is based off of DreamHost. So I'm going to pull up the DreamHost website here. If you look at under host, you're probably wondering what's the best plan for my business, my current situation here. You have shared hosting, VPS hosting, you got managed WordPress hosting, dedicated server, cloud hosting, and all these are here for a reason. You have to see what best fits your business model and what you're looking for. For example, like shared hosting, it has all the basic essentials for it. VPS hosting is isolated resource for the most performance control and room to grow. Managed WordPress hosting makes WordPress faster, more secure, hassle-free. So it's made just to handle WordPress specifically, but any type of hosting can handle WordPress. Dedicated server hosting, everyone on your WordPress, powered online store, server theme. So pretty much anything, not just WordPress, but any type of e-commerce, high-end traffic, or any website that uses a lot of memory, CPU usage on your server. Dedicated server will do the job. Cloud hosting, it's cloud computing, objects to store your project. So it just allow your projects to be stored online. But going back to our slide here, shared hosting, least expensive, a little bit longer, slow in response time, connection. It has its limitation in terms of CPU usage and bandwidth usage. So bandwidth meaning the amount of traffic that it can hold per month. Because once you reach the maximum bandwidth, then your website will stop working as well. Virtual private service, VPS, again, that's still affordable. It still can be shared or private. It will be faster response time and connection, better technical support that comes with that too. Dedicated server, more expensive. It's going to be fast, responsive time and connection. So it's going to be the fastest solution to run high-end websites that are expecting a high amount of traffic to your website. Again, to the right side here, number of visits to expect, amount of server-side process required versus client-side processes delivered. Server-side code program to execute, server-side, client-side is code program to execute on the user side. Amount of storage needed, for example. And website protocol, just real quick on it. It's just like we just want to kind of touch on some context terms here. It's a set of agreed upon standardized procedures and rules to follow to make a system work. There's different type of protocol. There's internet protocol. There's transmission control protocols, and each protocol has its own unique way that it works, and it does its own unique job as well, from the internet to transmission to hypertext, post office, simple mail, internet message, file transfer. And now here we go with the live demo. So with the live demo, we have to be establishing a website. You have to be prepared. You have to start thinking about your content, right? What type of content are you going to have on your website? What type of images? How are you going to create these content? Where are you going to get this content from? Do you have a writer? If you don't, then I recommend using ChatGPT, using AI to help you generate these content for you. If you don't have money to buy images, you can use AI generated images on your website to create images for you. AI can also help build strategy for your particular website need and for your objectives and goals. So let me pull up the screen here. So here's ChatGPT. Pretty much I already typed in. So what I typed in was what type of website do I need to sell food online? So ChatGPT comes back to me saying that if you sell food online, you need an e-commerce website that is tailored to specific requirements and regulations of food industry. Here's a breakdown of features and considerations you should keep in mind. So first one is user-friendly design, mobile optimization, e-commerce features such as shopping cart, secure payment gateway, product pages, customer reviews, logistic integration such as shipping, delivering time, order tracking, safety and regulation, so storage and handling information, certification, return policies, subscription models in case you have weekly subscription for like weekly meals. You'll need some type of subscription for that. Educational content such as blog posts and articles to sell your food, benefits, recipe, vice versa. SEO optimization to ensure that your website is optimized for the search engines to generate traffic. Social media integration, so make sure it links to your social media profiles. Live chat support, real-time assistance to visitors who have questions on your website. A newsletter sign up, collect emails to keep your customer updated with new product sales and recipes. Backend management tool, so making sure you have an inventory management, order processing, customer data management, analytics tool, and so on. Security, we talked about this earlier, making sure that you have proper SSL certificate installed to encrypt any data that's going to be transmitted over the internet. Localization, selling to multiple regions or countries, and we answered some of the questions earlier. If you're only doing business in the US, then you don't need to worry about this. But if you're selling to other regions and other countries, then you'll need to set some type of localized control for regional pricing and loyalty programs. You can think about some type of loyalty programs to offer rewards and discount for repeat customers. So all these are really good strategy recommendations that ChatGPT came out with. I was going to show an example on Bing as well. So let's say if I type in that same question here, same prompt, what type of website do I need to sell food online? Let's type this in Bing AI and see what Bing comes up with. And to use the Bing AI, you need a Edge browser. Top right corner, click on the Bing chat icon. It will open up the chat box here. So here, Bing is coming up with a strategy too, but it's a short version of ChatGPT. It's not as detailed and it's a little bit different. If you look at this here real quick, if you're planning to sell food online, you'll need a website that is easy to navigate, that has a shopping cart, checkout buttons, and offer full website and payment specific security features. And then looking at the steps here, it says once you've chosen your e-commerce platform, you can follow these steps to start selling online. Getting a good domain name, creating a online store, customize your store and add content to it, plan it with kitchen equipment to use, find a reliable supplier, prepare packaging, labeling, finalize the steps before launching your business and launch your food and business to promote it. So I think the way Microsoft took this was, that you're will package and prepare and be the supplier. If you're not the supplier, then make sure you have a reliable supplier. So it's just like a basic overview of what they recommend. So, but I like the answer from ChatGPT better. When I do a lot of these prompts. I like to use different engines, AI engines, to see what type of results they come up with. So again, if you wanted to write some content, you can go to ChatGPT. You can ask it to write content for your store. So let's say, if you needed to write some content on your homepage, you can ask ChatGPT, write a paragraph about my local, let's say, pizza store, right? Pizza shop. So wait, a website content. Local pizza shop in Minneapolis. It's thinking, and so here we go. So it's gonna write down a homepage. Welcome to your company name. This is what I did earlier. I asked it to generate content for a auto repair store. So I came up with welcome homepage here. You'll mention about your services, why customers should choose you. It also recommends you doing like an about us page, the experience and passive drive us. And it goes on to talk about the about us page, your services page. You have different auto repair solutions and services, general maintenance, brake repairs, and vice versa. So whatever, you can always go back and tweak it. You have a testimony page, contact us page, get in touch. And again, it comes up. ChatGPT also says that feel free to customize this content according to your specific services, values, and unique selling points. So, and this is like a generalized this is generalized content that ChatGPT generated. You can go in and also tweak it, remove anything that's not relevant, and also add on to it. I know earlier I said write something about website content about my local pizza shop in Minneapolis. So ChatGPT comes up with welcome pizza shop name, Minneapolis authentic pizza destination, talks about specialty, why we stand out. So very similar. So I would say, for those of you who don't know or have content prepared for your website, strongly advise to try out ChatGPT. There is a free version that you can use as well. If you are in need of images for your website, I recommend you using Microsoft image creator here. So if you go to Edge here, you can any type of image that you need, you can generate that. So Microsoft is using DALL-E 3. DALL-E 3 is part of OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT. I know that DALL-E 2 was the one that I was using before, but when I compare both of them, there's a big difference with DALL-E 3. It seems to understand the way you ask it to create images for you. So these are all images you can use if you want to ask the AI to generate images. Let's say generate for something for like auto repair shop, right? Generate a auto repair shop. Generate a nice auto repair shop with people in it. So these images here you can use on your website. It's not copyrighted. So I recommend doing something like this versus copying something on Google or something that you find and you search. For sure, this is, it's not bad. There's some generated, not realistic pictures, but more like artistic photos of a auto shop. The other one is almost kind of like the same thing. This one's more like a realistic human auto repair shop. So you can be real detailed and tell it what to do. I told it to add people in it, so it added people in it. But you can tell it to add different type of cars and stuff like that. So all these images you can save, you can download, you can customize it, add titles and stuff like that to it. So a lot of different features that you can do. For sure, we'll be working on this more for those of you who are looking to do website and don't have any content or images yet. Definitely look into AI to help you. I mean, it's always better if you take your own photos and then use it. But if you are just looking to add some generic photos to your website, AI can definitely help on that. Yeah, I want to kind of talk about that. I know we talked about website, but this cohort here is really geared towards helping you think like a web developer, but not needing the background of developer. You don't need to have any coding background. We want you to stay focused on your business development goals and just having a basic knowledge of website development. If you need to make quick changes or changing like a photo or some basic content, you can log in and do it yourself versus asking someone to do it for you, where you're going to wait a couple hours for that to get done. So again, this is basically to just help guide you to learn how to work with all the different website to understand web development. These other cohorts here that we have in our curriculum here, the first one, we have introduction to website development. After this, next week, we'll have introduction to coding with EDX Online learning platform. So it's kind of like basic coding using a platform to learn coding with HTML, CSS. I know Jeng will lead with that. And then, the third week, we have site structure and hands-on hybrid workshop. So we'll have hybrid workshop for those of you who want to be at the lab in person with us. We can give you hands-on help. If not, we'll also be working with you online through Zoom. And the third cohort or the third class here on the third week, this is when we'll create you with the hosting and domain name. So what we'll do is, we're going to just focus on WordPress. So we'll give you a free domain name. We'll allow you to choose that, and then we'll set up a hosting cPanel for you so that you can host your website. And again, this will be for WordPress only. If you already have a managed website like Wix or Shopify, we can help with updates, but in terms of hosting, we wouldn't be able to do that because they have their own pricing structures, and they have their own unique managed hosting. So with this, with the third workshop, we'll help you build your structure in terms of, what do you need for your main menu, for your sub menus, if you need contact form, what type of other special applications you need on your particular website. Are you selling stuff? So this is where we'll help you build your website. And then from there on, we're going to teach the fourth week. We're going to teach WordPress development, part 1 to part 3. So within those 3 weeks, we'll teach you the basic of a basic WordPress website, and also a WordPress website that's integrated with e-commerce. So that e-commerce plugin is called WooCommerce. That's what WordPress uses, and we'll teach you how to set that up and how to sell online with your WordPress website. And then after that, week 7 and 8, we'll focus on Shopify e-commerce. So for people who are looking to sell like high volume, like hundreds and thousands of products, we recommend Shopify because it's more robust, and also it's also secure. has a lot of different functions and features that WordPress does not have. Shopify has connection plugins to, for example, if you're selling on Google Shopping, Amazon, eBay, they have data feeds that you can feed from your Shopify to all the shopping channels out there. So we'll have an expert to kind of guide you all through that. And then the 9th and 10th class, we'll have hands-on hybrid workshop again, where we'll help you finish up your website. And in between, we're gonna have one-on-one sessions. We're gonna continue to work with you from week 3 all the way to week 10 to make sure that your website is done after that. And even if it's not done after week 10, we will work with you offline and continue on one-on-one sessions to get that done. So we have developers that can help you get your website up and running too. And I wanted to just quickly show the different ways that we set up our website here. We use, so we have different subscriptions and enterprise subscription towards like WordPress templates. Also inside WordPress, you can also have your own unique system where inside WordPress, you can also install basic templates. We'll work you through how to set that up as well. But for the most part, we will probably have you choose a template from one of our partner websites. There's hundreds of websites that you can choose from. And depending on what type of business you have, you can look at the topics here. If you want to do, for example, if you're into real estate, there's 200 plus templates for real estate. You'll choose the best one for you. We'll install it for you. Sorry. We'll customize it for you. And all these are mobile friendly too. So these are responsive, where if you're using any type of browsers, this will still work on. If you're using Android or iPhones, these templates will also work well with too. So they're 100% responsive. We'll make sure that they are before we install it for you. So if there's any questions, again, we will help assist you with that, with installing templates. I think this is the best way to go, and most effective, cost-effective way to set up a website is going through templates that have these are templates that other developers has already built, and they are just selling these templates for people who are looking for like a quick solution. So in terms of for our usage here, I think this should be sufficient. For those who are more serious and you want to do like a ground build up from designs to wireframes and everything like that, that's going to take time. It's going to cost a lot more. So, but for our purposes here, we will be working with you through templates and customization of these templates. If you already have an existing website, then we can just update and customize, provide help and services for your existing website. So that's pretty much it. We talked about the hybrid. There's going to be 3 hybrid workshop that will be in person, and then again, the rest of the workshops here will be going through just helping you through creating your website, making sure that's done before we finish this cohort here. And if there's any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And again, this recording here, we will post the presentation and the recording on our website. And if you have any questions, or if you miss any class, you can always go back to our website and watch the latest videos that you've missed. So for example, AI digital marketing cohort that we finished last month, I did post all the YouTube recordings, the presentation you can download my Dropbox. So all the recordings that we did for the AI digital marketing is here. And we'll be doing the same thing for the website, web development. So we will post it on the website. We'll send you the link weekly to let you know about our next class, and also provide you a link to our website with all the previous recordings. So just to make it convenient, easy for you all. And again, that's pretty much it. That's our time is up. So I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope this was a helpful workshop for you all. Again, our main goal here is to kind of just give you a basic introduction, and then we'll go into more detail in our other workshops for web development. And you don't need any type of background for this, so that's it. And again, the incentives here, if you have any questions, you can always look at our presentation here in terms of qualifying for the Hennepin County Reimbursement Program and how to get the free website with the 1-year domain name and 1-year hosting for free. So a lot of this you have to be in Minnesota or within the Hennepin County to qualify for these services here. So any questions, reach out to us. And that's all I have. We'll see you all next week, and you'll have a good night. Thank you.